Welcome to Homefront sitrep. I hope you're in for a great show today because I'm just a veteran talking about what's on my mind and maybe yours.
You can find Homefront Syrup on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. You can also check out Homefront Syrup's YouTube channel.
Buckle up, the show is starting.
Still in the fight, different battlefield, same damn life. No spotlight shining on the ones who serve, just great sacrifice and a whole lot of nerve. From small town shops to a helping hand, we're lifting each other, yeah, that's the plan. No red tape, no filter, no disguise, just truth in the fire behind our eyes. This is Homefront Secret, hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is Homefront Secret. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is Homefront Secret. From the scars we carry to the lives we rebuild, from the weight of silence to the strength of will. Non-profits grinding, boots on the street, no headlines chasing, just mission complete. Veteran alone, still chasing the dream. From a mic to a message, we're building a team. Creators and fighters, yeah, we all belong. Turn the pain into purpose, turn the hurt into song. No politics, no games, no divide. Just warriors standing side by side. This is Homefront Secret. Hear the call, where the real ones rise and the fallen stand tall. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is Homefront Secret. From the shadows to the spotlight we step. Yeah, this is Homefront Secret. We don't forget, we don't walk away. We carry each other through every day. From combat boots to a boss to a seat, still standing tall, still hard to defeat. Real stories, real impact, real people. This ain't just a podcast. This is a movement. This is Homefront Secret, loud and clear, for the ones still fighting year after year. Every voice matters, every story's legit. We're family here, this is Homefront Secret. Yeah, we rise, we grind, no regret. Welcome to Homefront Secret.
Welcome everybody to a Monday edition of Homefront sitrep. How is everybody doing? Let me tell you, today was a soggy bottom day for real. It was raining all day here in Kentucky, and I got up, went into work early this morning, and it was just raining, and it stopped, and then it would rain some more, then it stopped, and then it rained some more. So yeah, man, it was one of those days. It was like, man, I wish I could have just stayed in bed. Which couple more days I'll be able to stay in bed as long as I want until the wife tells me it's time to get up, because we'll be on a Carnival cruise line somewhere in the Caribbean, and I'll be excited to go down and see some amazing ports. Two of them we've been to before, one we have never been to. So I'm super excited about that. And then Gunnery Sergeant Samuel Deeds, who is um, abroad right now in Normandy. He posted or he sent me a text earlier today, and this is what he put as his voicemail. Can't talk right now. I'm on the other line off the coast of France. Taking a day to relax and reset. Pollock and macro. Hope all is well on your end. So that's what he put it as his voicemail. So uh if you don't follow him on Facebook, you need to go follow Gunnery Sergeant Samuel Deeds. Um, he's having the time of his life right now over there in the Netherlands and France, and getting to go to Devil Dog Fountain and Bella Wood and everywhere that he's been. Man, it's super cool. It's one of those for me. It'd be one of those trips of a lifetime to get to go to those places. Luckily, hopefully next year I'll be able to go. That's the plan. I'm hoping. Um, but I'm super excited. He's getting to live his best life, man. And that guy, he deserves it for sure. But you know what? Tonight, man, I'm super excited about this guest that's coming on tonight. She was introduced to me through Marie, from Every Day's a Saturday USMC veteran coffee talk with Brian and Marie. Um, and she got to join us on the tip of the spear the other night. She was kind of new, learning the ropes, so she kind of was quiet, right, in the background. But that's okay. She was still learning the ropes. And her thing is remember who you are, and when the uniform comes off, the mission doesn't end; it changes, right? We talk about that all the time here on Homefront Sit Rep. Is when we as veterans, when we get out of the military service, we lose that sense of purpose. We lose that sense of camaraderie. But our mission don't end. It evolves, it changes. And that's super cool. So we get to sit down with former U.S. Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant, author, speaker, and veteran advocate Sonia Achara. I hope I didn't butcher that name. We'll find out here in just a minute. In a minute, for a powerful conversation about leadership, transition, identity, finding purpose after military service. For many veterans, the toughest battle isn't fought overseas; it's navigating life after the military. The structure, mission, camaraderie, and sense of purpose that define military life can suddenly disappear, leaving many struggling to answer the simple but profound question: Who am I now? Drawing from her own experience in the Marine Corps and her journey beyond the uniform, Sonia shares how she transformed adversity into opportunity and why reclaiming one's identity is essential to successful transition and personal growth. As the founder of Identity Recode for veterans and author of Remember Who You Are, she has dedicated her mission to helping veterans reconnect with their purpose, rediscover their strengths, and build meaningful lives after service. So I am super excited to have her on to come on and talk about her journey. Um, it's just we're gonna find out all about Miss Sonia here in just 1 second. So I think we're ready to bring her up. What do you guys think? Hopefully Gunny's ready. Welcome to the show.
Hey, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, first off, I want to say thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with me here on Homefront Sit Rep. If you don't mind, introduce yourself to the world of Homefront Sit Rep.
Okay, yeah. So, like he said, my name is Sonia Achara. I got out as a gunnery sergeant in the Marine Corps. I did 14 years in the Marine Corps, so it had its ups and downs. But I'm definitely basically I went from being a Marine to now, like as he said, I created a community for veterans. I call it the Human Potential Project Veteran Initiative, because it's just getting like ex-military members together, just to create that community where people feel seen and heard, and to also kind of strip away like all the things that we had been conditioned to believe about ourselves, especially even going through the military and then having to get out and find that new identity type of thing. And it's not really about changing like who you are at the core. It's more about just stripping away some of the identities we kind of took on through childhood and beyond, to get back to the core essence of who we are and our purpose.
So what was your MOS in the Marine Corps?
So my MOS was a radio operator, but I actually did a lot of different things. I was one of those Marines that wanted to do it all. So I came in. Sorry, that's my son in the background. He might jump in here every now and then, but yeah. So I was a radio operator. I became a black belt martial arts instructor while I was in, and I was very active with that. I also became a marksmanship coach, so I taught the rifle and the pistol. Then I was a recruiter for 3 years. I also was a force fitness instructor trainer at the martial arts. So it used to be the MACE, the martial arts, but by the time I got there, it was called the MAFC, so the Martial Arts and Fitness Center of Excellence.
Okay. So when I was in the Marines, they hadn't moved over to the mixed martial arts for the hand-to-hand combat and all of that. When I got out in 2001, and then when I got recalled back in, they're like, "Oh, well, you guys need to be trained in the new Marine Corps martial art hand-to-hand." So we had to do that. I think I got starts out tan belt. And then it moves up one level. So I got a tan belt and then I moved up a level. I can't remember what it was. Wasn't in long enough to even worry about it. It's just like, but I did like the mixed martial arts, because they took 3 or 4 moves from each form of martial arts, whether it was karate, taekwondo, whatever, and combined that into the Marine Corps martial arts program. I thought that was super cool. I wish they had that back in 1997 when I first joined. I was kind of like you, like I was infantry, but I wanted to be, a rifle coach at Paris Island. I wanted to do the hand-to-hand combat. So I took all of these courses that would help me as a Marine. But after going through schools, being the infantry guy, they're like, "Oh, well, you ain't got time to go do that. You can't get TDY to go do that." And I'm like, "Well, what's the sense of going to these schools? Great, it looks good on a resume, but if I can't utilize that and keep teaching, then you lose it. It's kind of one of those things." So, so were you stationed on West Coast, East Coast?
So I was stationed all over. I was first I had to go to Paris Island because that's where females had to go at the time. And so I went to Paris Island. I did MCT in North Carolina, and then I actually ended up getting stationed at 2nd Intel Battalion on Camp Lejeune for my first duty station. So I was there for 5 years, and then when I went on recruiting duty, I was in Kansas.
Oh, nice.
And then after that, I got stationed in at 9th Com Battalion in where's that at? Oceanside, California.
Yeah.
And then for my last duty station, I was in Quantico, Virginia at the MAFC.
So what year did you enlist? I'm not trying to date you or anything, but what year did you enlist?
So it's interesting because I actually graduated from high school in 2004, but I ended up going to college first. I went to San Diego State University, and I actually ran track for them because I'd always been an athlete. And I didn't end up joining until 2010. And I wanted to go enlisted, even though I had a bachelor's degree, because I just wanted to get out. I wanted to go and get out as fast as I could.
So I know we've kind of talked a little bit, offline, and there's things that have gone on. And was your plan to do 20 years in the military? Was that your plan?
I do think originally I had planned to do 20 years. I thought I was going to be like the next sergeant major of the Marine Corps or something for
Nice,
the
nice. So you ended your career in Quantico, right? And people will tell you that's probably one of the hardest chain of commands out there because you got so many eyeballs on you because of the location of where that is, right?
yeah.
And I mean, not just Marine Corps eyeballs, but you got Navy eyeballs there. You got uh, FBI there. You got a little bit of everything at Quantico. What was it like being a female? I'm assuming you were a gunnery sergeant at this time, right?
So when I got stationed there, I was a staff sergeant at first, but I did pin on gunny while I was there and did my last 2 years as a gunny there.
So what was that like being an E7 in in Quantico area? Because I know the Marine Corps, they say it's not the good old boy club, but it is the good old boy club. It always has been and probably always will be, unfortunately.
Hmm.
That's why when my daughters were telling me, "Hey, Dad, I want to go in the military," it's like, "Don't go Marines,"
Hmm.
because I seen firsthand how some female, especially the higher when I was in, especially the higher rank. Um, the higher ranked females that were, of course, I was infantry. I didn't get to see many females while I was in,
Hmm.
but I did get to see some of the higher ranked females, how some of their male counterparts look down on them. So, what's up, buddy? How are you? So what was that like for you to be at Quantico and be an E7? What was that like for you?
So that's the interesting thing. I was originally super excited to go there because I had always kind of looked up to the mace. Like I had always looked up to it and was like, I want to work there one day. Um, and For most of my career, honestly, like I never really felt like I had been treated different for being a female because I was the one that like needed to prove myself everywhere I went. So I was very athletic already. So I was probably outdoing most of the males at most of my units that I was stationed at. So I did gain a lot of respect at my other units, but going to Quantico definitely was a different story. Because when I got there, I wasn't sure if I was being treated crazy because I was a new instructor. So I kind of was taking it. I was kind of just taking it just to see, because I was the only female at the time and I was the newest instructor. So I was like, okay, maybe this is just like a hazing the new instructor type of thing. And then as time went and we got more females, there was this one guy in particular that was like after me for some reason. I don't even know what his deal was, but I guess he was infantry, and he said he had never worked with females until I got there, and he had 4 red tabs, and they basically had put him. I don't know why they put him in charge of the force fitness side for a little while, and all he did was just talk down to me and about my teaching and this and that, and I had never been talked to like that. And like obviously you get, you go through boot camp and there's a certain way that people talk to you, but this was just a different level.
Mm. Yeah,
And
so explain what the 4 red tabs is, because there's people probably that are watching this or listening to this that
Mhm.
don't know what the 4 red tabs are.
Okay, so a 4 red tabs in the Marine Corps is basically you're a black belt already, but you have it's 4 degrees. So you're basically an instructor of instructors. You make instructors, but you're also a fourth degree. So they go up to 6 degrees.
Yeah.
First, second, third, fourth. Yeah. And so he was a fourth degree red tab. So they treated him like he was God type of thing. Like
Yeah.
everything he said goes because, just because I guess his reputation of being a red tab and being able to fight and stuff
Yeah.
like
So
that.
a lot of people don't realize that the amount of hand-to-hand combat we do as Marines. Like you could say you got this army guy, just like your normal army guys, they don't have nearly the hand-to-hand combat that we do as Marines. Yeah, your Green Berets, your Deltas, they might have just as much, but I don't really think they do. I think the Marine Corps has like the most when it comes to hand-to-hand combat because that's what we are. We're devil dogs. That's we get into that. And I never when I was in, even when I went back in the second time, I think the guy that was teaching us, I think he was a black belt, maybe one red stripe, maybe. I can't remember. That was such a long time ago.
Mhm.
But yeah, so they were treating this guy like God, and then he for some reason had a personal vendetta against you, and you don't know why.
Yeah, it was like as soon as I got there, he had something against me. So, um, I didn't know what it was. I tried to like just see if it was just because I was a new instructor. But as other female, he always wants the attention
Yeah.
when I get on. But yeah, he he cannot stop. Let me finish this, okay?
So he made your life pretty much HE double hockey sticks. You got a little man there. So I'm not gonna say it.
Yeah.
So he made your life miserable while you were there.
But I guess
Is it-
since two other female instructors came after me, I think he didn't want to make it seem like it was a female thing. So for a little bit, he was like trying to be nice to me. It was just weird. For a little bit, he was trying to be nice to me because these other two females had came in, and then he started treating them like shit. And so since I was like there was instructors that were leaving. Hey, what are you doing? But yeah, there was other instructors, like the older instructors were leaving, so I was becoming one of the older instructors, and so he had no choice but to kind of like let me become the lead instructor. And I think he was like waiting for me to fail, but I ended up killing it as the lead instructor. And just because my background is in like kinesiology, I got my bachelor's degree in kinesiology, which is like the study of muscle movement.
right.
And so I was able to teach like all the anatomy, the physiology, the biomechanics, all these. We were also teaching like just proper dynamic warm-ups and the proper way to take care of your body afterwards. Foam rolling, stretching, just the proper way to do all of those things.
So all right, let's ask you this question because a lot of Marines who have been in for 14 years want to go ahead and get their 20, right? So you here you are, you're at a chain of command. The chain of command is terrible, and they treated you, with disrespect and all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever consider going the warrant officer route and getting your 20 since you were already you already have a bachelor's degree? Here you are, you're already enlisted. You could have easily went the warrant officer route. And did you ever think about that?
I had thought about that. And there were a couple different times I thought about going, even putting in an officer package. And I almost did, but then I just something in me just didn't really want to, because I liked being right there with the Marines, you know.
Right.
And so I saw that most officers, they're at the desk.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so that was just my preference. I wanted to be right there with the Marines and not have to, I wasn't doing it for the money or anything like that.
Right. Well, I think as a warrant officer, you have a little bit more
Mhm,
freedom than you would as a, butter bar or second
mhm,
lieutenant or captain, whatnot.
mhm,
Because I know in the infantry unit, our gunner, we had a gunner, CW05,
mhm,
who was enlisted, and then he got to the rank of gunnery sergeant as well, and then he went the warrant officer route and made his way up to CW05.
mhm,
Um, Super good guy. This guy, I tell you what, this guy was like 7'5",
mhm.
long legs. He ran. If you know Camp Lejeune, he ran from Second Battalion, Eighth Marines headquarter area to the front gate and back every morning,
Oh,
and
okay.
didn't even break a sweat. Now I'm talking about
Mhm,
the old front gate that used to be out in front of across the bridge right up from Driftwood.
mhm,
Um, so that he used to run. It was 25 miles one way to the front gate. I think it's changed now, like the location of where the front gate is. Um, but this guy, he never cussed, and when
mhm.
he talked to you in a normal conversation, he stuttered. Like that was just who he was. But when you made him mad, oh boy, he did not stutter when you made him mad. He would come at you full bore, and you knew he was mad.
Mhm.
Um, so
Yeah. No, I definitely did have a lot more respect for a lot of the chief warrant officers I knew, versus like the officers. But I think for me, it was a combination of things. I was at this duty station, where, to me, being a gunny, it's like, dang, like I could do 12 years and work my ass off and still get treated like shit. And so it kind of started to I guess it kind of started to leave a bad taste in my mouth for the Marine Corps at first. And then I ended up getting pregnant with my son while I was there as well, which
mm,
that didn't go over well either. I was they ended up making me the chief instructor, but during that one course that I was the chief instructor for, I found out I was pregnant. And then I just knew, like, I was like, I didn't want to tell them that I was pregnant because I knew something was gonna come of that, where they definitely found a reason to take me out of the chief position.
yeah. I was
Um,
gonna say that once they found out that here you are, you're, pregnant with your first
mhm,
kid, and um, the Marine Corps being the Marine Corps, they'd be like, "Oh, well, you can't do your job,"
mhm,
which is not right. I mean, I don't agree with it at all, because
mhm,
I've seen some females that are pregnant and they're
mhm.
very active up until their third trimester.
Yeah,
Um, Now, granted, you're hand to hand combat.
yeah,
I can
yeah. So
kind of
there were certain things I couldn't do, but I was still doing like hill sprints and things like that while pregnant.
yeah, yeah. Well,
So I
I
was
seen a
pretty
lady
active.
the other I seen a lady the other day. I forget which platform, but she had a big belly and she was
Mhm,
squatting. She was doing
mhm,
kettlebell swings. I mean,
mhm,
she was getting after it, and I was
mhm.
like, okay, get it, girl.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I was doing like CrossFit workouts too while I was pregnant. So yeah, I was doing that
yeah.
up until the third trimester.
And I guess the Marine Corps didn't want to be held liable. Say if something did happen to while you were pregnant and something did happen. I can see that as well too.
Mhm,
But being the dad of two females, my daughters, um,
mhm,
it's changed my mindset on a whole lot of things.
mhm,
Because when I was a Marine, I was arrogant, cocky, and I was like, all right, cool, this
mhm,
is you know, and then after having kids and having daughters of my own, I have to rethink a lot of the things that I used to say, right? And
mhm,
because Marines be Marines back in the day, and um, you know, my thing is now is, everybody says, "Oh, well, there's double standards," and I don't. Me personally, if a female can do an infantry job and be held to the same standards as the male counterpart, I have no problem with that female being in the infantry unit. Now, if she can't pull my 100 and at that time 195-pound butt out of a fighting hole and into safety, then I have a problem because whoever's in the fighting hole with me has to be able to carry each other to safety. So I
Mhm.
think the standard needs to be the same, and I think that's kind of where they're leaning towards, especially if you're putting a
Mhm.
female into that role. Um, a
Mhm.
combat role, and it seems like you being, you got your bachelor's degree in what in kinesiology, is that right? Did I say it right?
Yeah, kinesiology.
And then you
Yeah.
ran track and everything, and seems like you were pretty much in shape back then, and you probably kicked some of those dudes' butts back then too, probably.
Yeah, yeah, I did. And then I was also bodybuilding while I was in for 6 years. And so I was stronger than a lot of the dudes too. So I could definitely, I was the female that was able to carry dudes that were at least like 180 pounds, I think, like firemen carry.
Oh, nice. Heck yeah. No, I like
So
it. I
I was
definitely like it.
definitely and there
Alright,
was a lot
so
of people that because I was in during the time where they were starting to integrate females into the infantry, and they were like, why don't you do it? Like if any female is going to do it, you should do it. And I think for me it was like, I don't know if I want to do that to my body, because I know infantry dudes go through a lot, like their body gets tore down.
I I
So
I would agree with you 100% on that.
yeah, and that was the thing that I was like, I don't even know if I want to, like, I might be capable of doing it, but I don't know if I want to do that to my body.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 48. I just had when I turned 46, I had my right knee replaced.
Mhm.
And I have to have my left knee replaced. I just haven't done it yet. And that stems from my time in the infantry. Now, granted, I will tell you, I would do it all over again and I wouldn't change a thing, but I would take better care of myself.
Mhm.
Because I was young, dumb, and I didn't care. I thought I was, like I said, I thought I was a hard charging go getter, and I ran, with the rucksack on my back. We did boots and utes with
Mhm.
we did stupid stuff to keep in shape. I mean, put it this way, I went to
Mhm.
Haiti in '99. Early, or yeah, was it '99? Yeah, '99. I went down there at 175.
Mhm.
I left there 195 all muscle. So I gained 20 pounds of muscle while I was there because that's how hard we trained. Uh, and we were eating steak and lobster every day. That's all three meals we had. We
Oh
had
wow.
Panamanian cooks that would come in and cook. We had steak and eggs I didn't eat lobster for breakfast, but steak and eggs for breakfast, steak and lobster for lunch, steak and lobster for dinner. And we were, if we weren't on guard at one of the posts or doing QRF, we were always in the weight room or running around the base and with our ruck and on and gaining that muscle mass. Um, but yeah, enough about me. Let's talk about
That's awesome.
your book that you got out. Remember who you are, um, and then let's talk about the recode as well.
Okay.
I definitely want to talk about both of those.
Okay.
We could talk Marine Corps stories all day long.
Oh yeah, I
Uh,
know. There's so many.
but we need to talk about your book, and then we also need to talk about your veteran community that you have going
Okay.
as well.
Yeah, so I did write my first book called Remember Who You Are, and that is really just my memoir. It's like the good, the bad, the ugly, that made me who I am today, basically. And I published that last year. It was like last July. Um, And I think that was just my first book to where I just needed to get something out there. And I actually have my second book that I'm about to publish here soon. I'm finishing writing it and I'm going to self-publish it, planning for August. I don't know if I'm going to do August 1st or August 15th, but we'll see. But this book is actually called I've Got Me, and it's actually a neuroscience-backed guide on how to rewire survival patterns into secure attachment, because that's actually what I do within like the identity recode framework that I have for veterans. I do work with civilians as well, but I like to like target and like kind of work with the veteran community more, because I have a heart, I have a heart for veterans, and I feel like veterans need this more than anybody. Because it really is it. So what I learned along the way is that, all of my childhood wounds are kind of what drew me even to the Marine Corps in the first place. And they call it Uncle Sam's misguided children for a reason. Most of us that joined the Marine Corps, I could say like 90%, if not 100%, all had rough childhoods.
Yeah. And I think you could say that about any branch of service. If you get to the nuts and bolts, and you talk about childhood trauma, a lot of I would probably agree with you. 95% to 99% of us had real rough childhoods. So yeah, I would agree with that statement 100%.
Yeah, and so what I had to come to realize was that a lot of the things that I faced in the Marine Corps were a result of my subconscious patterns that I was running on from childhood. So, but I didn't really, I was like pushing through. I just kept pushing through, and I was the type to try and, have a positive mindset. And basically, like, I would give motivational speeches and just try to have a positive mindset. But at the end of the day, I'd go home and not, most of the time I kept myself so busy, I didn't even want to be home by myself. And when I was home by myself, I drank to numb the feelings away, whatever feelings they were. I just didn't want to sit with them. So, but it hit me like a sledgehammer when I was at that last command, because there was a lot of things that happened at once. It was this boss that was just after me. I was in a toxic relationship and didn't even know it. So that was the first time I actually went and sought a therapist out. And I happened to find a guy there at Quantico at MCCS, which was like it was a miracle that this guy was there, but he had been, a Marine for 20 years and retired, and now he's working there as a therapist. So I was able to like relate to him and talk to him about a lot of the things I was going through.
Now, so he was a Marine. Now he's a therapist. Do you feel like that he might have judged you a little differently with you being a female Marine and going through the things that you were going through?
I didn't feel like it. I felt like I felt very seen and heard, like through this man. And it was interesting. I feel like when I was in the Marine Corps, I sought out a lot of male mentors. Like I had a couple different male mentors that were older than me, and they were like big brothers to me, basically. And I don't know if that's because I didn't have a good relationship with my father growing up, but I didn't have a good relationship with my father or mother. So I kind of was drawn to some of the male leadership that I saw were good leaders. So this man, I was able to actually talk to him, and I didn't feel judged by him at all. But he was able to help me see that I was in an unhealthy relationship. So I ended up choosing to leave the Marine Corps, mostly because my son, I didn't want to have to choose between being a good Marine and a good mother. Because let's be real, like a lot of the female Marines, especially single mothers too, they were like looked down upon if they had to leave and not be there for PT because they had to pick up their kid or whatever it was.
Right. Right. Eh, I would say that would probably be really hard, being a single mother while being on active duty,
Mhm.
and especially being so far away from home too. You have no, relatives close by that could help you with your kiddo.
Mhm.
So last night I had Allison Burton on. She's a spouse.
Mhm.
Her husband is a lieutenant colonel. They're stationed in Germany, and they have 2 kids, and, and she was talking about, balancing, a career, and also being a mother while husband is deployed.
Mhm.
So I can only imagine what it would be like for a single female to be a mother on active duty.
Mhm.
Luckily, I didn't have to worry about that, because 'cause I'm not a female, I couldn't have kids, but,
Yeah.
I could only imagine the struggles and the conflict too, because here you are, you got 14 years in the Marine Corps, you find out you're pregnant,
Mhm.
and you're like, "Man, I wanna do 20, but I gotta be able to take care of my kid as well." The
Mhm.
internal struggle that you're already facing with, a toxic chain of command, a
Mhm.
toxic relationship, and now you're pregnant on top of that. I can only
Mhm.
imagine the internal struggles that you're going through because, I was young, dumb, and, I got married at a very early age when I was in the Marines. We dated for a year and a half. I was there maybe 4 months out of that year and a half because I was deployed all the time. And I caught her cheating on me. So I
Mm.
already know, the struggles in that aspect with the toxic relationship and everything. So,
Mhm.
um, I can only imagine. So this identity recode, let's talk about that because I think that's something that we all struggle with, and I know us Marines in particular because the way they break us down in boot camp, and then they rebuild us to be a Marine.
Mhm.
And I can tell you right now, I've been out of the Marine Corps since 2004, and I will tell you, I'm still a hard charging go getter, and it's one of those things that uh my brain hasn't reset yet because I still worry when I walk into a restaurant. I'm still scanning the area looking for threats. My
Mhm.
back is against the wall and I'm facing the door so I can make sure, I do that at church. I do that at
Mhm.
concerts. I do that, I'm always on alert. And I kind of
Yeah.
think that's where your identity recode kind of comes into play. Am I correct?
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Because yeah, I went through a period where I was definitely hyper vigilant like that as well. And so what I learned was that your brain is constantly, it's gonna look for what you're focusing on. And so if you're constantly looking for the threat, most of the time you're going to find the threat. Or you're just going to be always on edge, and you're never able to rest. You're actually in survival mode where your body is in, instead of the parasympathetic state, it's in the sympathetic state, which is so parasympathetic is when you're able to actually rest and digest, and your body should be able to go back to a parasympathetic state to be able to relax.
Yeah.
But military members, especially Marines, are in constant survival mode, and it's not good for our bodies. It actually is what creates diseases in our bodies, as well as like suppressing our emotions, all of that, suppressing emotions and just being in constant survival mode.
Yeah.
And so when we actually are able to kind of rewire ourselves to get out of that mode and into a more relaxed state, we're actually able to attract a better life to us as well. I realized that a lot of the things that I went through with my ex, it was because we were trauma bonded. And it's because our body doesn't look for what's healthy, it looks for what's familiar.
Yeah.
And so I've gone through a whole process since that relationship for the last, as we've been separated for 2.5, almost 3 years now. I've gone through a whole process of rewiring myself so that I can start to attract healthier relationships. And so that's part of what Identity Recode is. But it's to help basically in all relationships that you have to thrive, whatever relationships with your kids, co-workers, parents, basically for all relationships to be able to thrive and for you to be able to kind of uncover what you were meant to do here.
Yeah.
Because in the process of me rewiring and like kind of shedding old survival wounds, I actually came into what I was meant to do here, and I feel like I don't even have to do much. Like I work off of inspired action. So just when I feel inspired to, but for the most part, I'm going to the park with my son every day, or I'm going to the beach with my son, or I'm taking in, I'm able to take in nature and see the beauty in life now. When in the past I was too busy and I was a workaholic. I was not allowing myself to feel my emotions, so I was very cut off from my own body. And so it helps in all aspects of life, basically.
Yeah.
To be
So
able to
I
be
feel,
more in tune with your own body.
so I feel that very much so, because I don't think I ever, like, if I'm laying down and going to sleep at night, I don't think I ever fully get to that deep REM sleep. Like I feel like I'm always ready to go at a snap. And I'll tell you right now, like I get up several times throughout the night. I'll hear a noise and I'm up, and I'm up for 30 minutes before I can go back to sleep. My wife can tap me at 6 o'clock in the morning and say, "Hey, babe, at 6 o'clock, I'm up and in the shower before she even opens her eyeballs." And she's like, "How can you do that?" I'm like, my body's always been that way, because I guess because I'm always at that hyper vigilant state where my body just never fully
Not like
relaxes.
relaxing. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think my body ever gets to the point where, now that there are times where I'm just so exhausted from working my normal day job and then doing all the volunteering stuff that I do, and then do a podcast on Sunday, Monday, and reach out to guests in between. And there are nights that, like, I'll get done with the podcast, I'll go upstairs and I'll eat dinner, and then I'll sit on the couch 15, 20 minutes, I'm done. And then the wife is struggling to get me to wake up because I'm just so exhausted. And that'll be like once every 2 to 3 weeks that my body just says, "Hey, bro, you're done. Just you're cut off." So I think I definitely need, like, when I talk to a therapist down in Tampa, Florida, at SOF Missions, and I was explaining to them my daily life cycle, what I do, because I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning Eastern time. I get up, go take a shower, get dressed, leave the house by 6:15, and I'm at work by 7 o'clock. I do my normal day job, which is playing in the dirt all day long. And then, in between, I'm, answering emails or taking phone calls, get off from there. And then, if I have some volunteer stuff, I'll go do the volunteer stuff. And then I come home. If I don't have a podcast, then, I'm doing things around the house for the wife, taking care of the outside of the house, whatever. And, just explaining to them everything that goes on. And then, they ask about, the concerts and doing stuff of that nature. And I hate large crowds. Like I cannot be in an enclosed area with a large crowd. I just can't do it. going to church on Sunday morning, a place that you would think would be a place that I could relax. No, I can't sit in the middle of the aisle. I have to sit on the end of the aisle.
Mm.
And I'm always facing, the door, or an exit door of some sort, and always got my head on a swivel. So uh, I definitely think doing an identity recode would probably help me. Honestly, I think it would help me relax a little bit.
Yeah, I do. I actually give one free masterclass a month. I do it on the 15th of every month, and it's the Identity Recode Masterclass. And so that's on my Eventbrite. And so I do that once a month. And then I really believe that this book that I have coming out is actually going to be the one that can help a lot of people, because it's basically the guidebook on all the things I did to be able to basically recode my identity to where it's at now. And I wouldn't even say that I'm a different person. I'm just more of me, of who I was meant to be, because I got rid of the survival mechanisms. Because there's a lot of things that we do that are survival mechanisms. Obviously, the hypervigilance is over explaining ourselves, people pleasing. These are all survival mechanisms that actually, my son,
He's going to be a
they
Marine.
aren't who, yeah, they aren't who they aren't who we truly are. So we can rewire the survival mechanisms that that we took on in childhood. Most of us took it on in childhood, and then the military just kind of added to that. And so so yeah, this book that I do have coming out is the one that I feel is going to help a lot of people. I actually submitted the book for a contest for Hay House, which Hay House is actually the biggest self-help company in the world right now, and they recognized my book. They honorably mentioned it, and so I know that it's going to help a lot of people. So I'm just wanting to self-publish it to get it out there, and then I'll probably submit for another contest in January.
Nice. So I got your website scrolling across the screen right now. And it's also in chat. So if you want to click the link, you can click on it there. When you go to the home page, it's got information, rewire survival patterns to secure attachment and emotional intelligence. Across the top, you got work with me about veteran initiative, donate, books and podcasts, and contact now. And it looks like you have 2 books that you're working on. So you've got I've Got Me, which is coming soon. And then you got one that says At His Pace. So is that another book you're working on as well?
Yeah, that is another book. I'm probably going to gather a couple more years worth of data before I write that one, because it's more about my son and basically the way I'm raising him. And what I've been learning is taking a lot of pressure, because a lot of us grew up with a lot of pressure to do things. Obviously, our parents wanted us to do the things they wanted us to do. But we became the people we were meant to become anyway, except for the fact that when you put so much pressure on people, their nervous system locks up and they're not able to be in a state of creativity. And because our higher potential lies on the other side of these survival wounds, basically. So once we're actually in our parasympathetic state for most of the time, because what happens is, like, it's not that you don't ever get angry or sad or anything. You just learn how to go from feeling your feelings to just letting it pass, and it doesn't ruminate in your body. So you don't have that depression or any of those things. You actually feel your feelings to let it discharge the way that it's meant to. And then you're able to stay in a parasympathetic state most of the time. And what happens is you're just, creativity opens wide open, for the last 2 years, I've been able to write books. I've been able to, I get straight A's in my master's degree program because, and I basically attested to being able to be in the parasympathetic state and able to reach the creativity and the intelligence that's out there.
Heck yeah. No, I like it. Let's see what else is on here. What else can we touch bases on? So you got your veteran initiative out in San Diego.
Oh yeah, so I do have that community that I've been building. It's basically a bunch of military members that I have, or veterans that are in a WhatsApp chat, and I host bonfires, hikes, kayaking events. I'm also planning on hosting like sound healing, breath work events, because those are all very like healing to the nervous system.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also eventually want to do retreats as well, like an identity recode retreat.
So I got a super cool guy for you. He's Australian Special Forces. His name is Tim Thomas. He created Breathwork in Bed. That's the guy you need to reach. I need to get you connected with, especially since you're talking about doing breath work and stuff. That's the guy. He normally is on the tip of the spear. Need to reach out to him, see how he's doing. But I need to link you and him. He's on WhatsApp as well because that's how I talk with him. So I will link you and him together via email. I think he would be a good partner for you, especially if you do retreats. You possibly could get him to come in and teach breath work there on site. So I think that would be pretty cool. It looks like you also partner with the Fallen Outdoors as well.
Yes, I am also. So I'm a pro staff member with the Fallen Outdoors nonprofit program, and so they actually help fund my my kayaking events and stuff too. So
nice.
So I do that, and I'm actually looking at becoming a lead for Southern California for the Fallen Outdoors.
Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, we had I forget who we had, but we had one of the national board members on from the Fallen Outdoors because I will tell you, my reset is being outdoor. It could be sitting up on a going to the woods and sitting up next to a tree, listening to the creek, and just waiting for Mother Nature to wake up. Or I could be out hunting. I could be, anything of that nature. To being outdoors is just my reset. Now, Gunny, my co-host, his is being on a fishing boat or a fishing bank. Fishing line in the water. That's his reset. So we both love the outdoors, and I think it's super cool that you're going to be a team lead for the Fallen Outdoors out, because it's a really great organization. Being not one of the big three when you think of veteran service organizations, the big three, but they're on that next tier down below. And a lot of it just depends on their team leads that they have in whatever region you're in, because I think they have several different regions. And then they have chapters. I think they try to have chapters in each state, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since we had them on, so definitely check out the Fallen Outdoors for sure. So
yeah, they do a lot of like hunting and fishing trips and camping and stuff like that. But yeah, the guy that brought me aboard, he's like I guess he is the lead for the whole Western region. And so he was like, yeah, I'm not going to tell you, what to do. I know Southern California is a bit different. And so, yeah, I just do the things that I want to do for us and see what other people want to do as well.
Right. I mean, that you have to do with what you got in the area that you're at. If you're limited on what you can and can't do, and then you got your veterans that are only interested in this or interested in that, you got to cater sometimes you got to cater to what they're into, and that's how you build that community. So
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I like it. I like it a lot.
So, and that's the
Well,
thing too, when you were talking about the outdoors, yeah, being out in nature is really, it's actually really healing and grounding for the nervous system.
yeah,
So, yeah,
that
being
it is.
outdoors in general.
Now, so I'm barefooted right now. Speaking of grounded, like I got the cold concrete floor, and I'm grounded to the concrete floor as we speak. Because it is grounding yourself to nature. Now, granted, concrete floor is not nature, but it's still close enough. It's there's something to be said about grounding yourself out to nature there.
It cannot, I can't do Doug.
What? If Doug
Mom, you got to help me,
Yeah,
Mom.
he's like,
Doug is at Disney.
yeah, but I can't get onto Disney right now, baby.
You got your hands full for the next 20 years, Gunny.
Yeah, I know.
Doug.
He's got
For the
you.
next 20 years.
Get it, Mom. Get it.
But he's a very active, yeah, he's a very active boy too. So
There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, I love
Just
it.
don't let him go in the Marines. Make him go Army or Navy or Air Force. But not Space Force. You can't go Space Force. You got to go Army or Navy or Air Force.
Baby, I'm still talking. Let me finish, okay? Let me finish. I put
All right, Gunny. So is there we're getting close on time. Is there anything that we haven't hit on that you want to hit on?
we talked about the veteran community.
Yep.
The
You talked about your
book. I feel like we hit on pretty much everything. Everything that I wanted to talk about, at least.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on, Rich LaMonica? How are you? Have you you've been introduced to Rich, have you not?
Hey,
He's
I
part
don't
of
know.
he's with the Misfit Nation. He's part of the Tip of the Spear. He didn't make this Tip of the Spear, but he's in that Tots group that you're in. And
Okay.
you've probably seen him chat in there.
And I am scheduled for some other people's podcasts, but I can't remember the names of the podcast right now.
I think Rich LaMonica did reach out to you if I remember correctly.
Oh, I think he did actually. I think
he's with the Misfit Nation.
I think that's next month.
Nuts. Well, Gunny, I want to say thank you for coming and hanging out with me for this hour. It's been my pleasure. And I didn't even get to razz you because when you first introduce yourself, you're like, I'm a former Marine. I'm like, no, there's no such thing as former Marine.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing, when I created this slide, like right there where it says right underneath on my end, it's underneath your picture. It says Gunnery Sergeant. It said former U.S. Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant. I was like, no, we got to remove former. There's no such thing. And Rich did say yes, she is scheduled for us soon. So you're going to be on his show. And Rich, are you doing it yourself, Rich, or is she going to be on the Tuesday crew? You'll have a great time with whether you're with Rich or with the Tuesday crew there with the Misfit Nation. But
okay, nice.
I do want to say thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with us. I know the kiddo was probably driving you a little bonkers over there, but we got through it, Gunny. Because we're Marines, we adapt and we overcome, correct?
Yeah, exactly. And that's another thing. Being a single mom, there's no excuse. Yes. I've been able to build my own business and host all these veterans and still raise my son and spend time with my son. So,
and he looks like a happy boy. So you're doing something right.
He is a happy boy. Thank you.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, Gunny, I'm going to let you go get Doug put on the TV for him. Thank you again for hanging out with me for this hour. It's been my pleasure. I can't wait to have you back on Tip of the Spear. Whenever you're available, I'll keep sending you the invites. And if you want to come on, you come on. If you don't, then don't. I mean, that's up to you. If you can make it, we greatly appreciate your insight, your wisdom. So thank you again.
Yeah, I love it. I'm definitely gonna come on when I'm able to come. So thank you for
Awesome,
inviting me
awesome.
to this.
Well, thank you again. Take care of that kiddo, and go get him some chicken nuggets or something because he was a good boy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely my pleasure. Yeah, and thank you for having me. Thank you.
Hey, you're very, very welcome, and thanks to Marie for introducing this. So, thank
Yeah.
you again.
All right. Well, you guys have a great rest of your day then.
All right, thank you. Bye bye.
All right.
Ladies and gents, how cool was that? Gunnery Sergeant Sonia Achara. I hope I didn't butcher that name. Website scrolling across the bottom of the screen, www.sonyaachara.com. Go check out her website. All of her information is on there. Um, so go check it out. Go get her book. I put the link in chat. Let's see, throwing it up on the screen. That's her book on Amazon. Go order her book. Make sure you follow her on Amazon so when she self publishes her next book, you can order that as well. Um, I'm gonna order one just so I can put it back here with all of these back here with all these veteran authors and stuff back here. So I'm gonna have her book back there. Hopefully, I can get all of her books. We'll see. We will see. All right, so tonight's the last episode until let's see, I go on vacation this weekend. So the 28th, 29th, there will be no episode, and the 5th will be no episode. I should be back on July 6th. And if we do have a show that night, it'll be Gunny and myself when he gets back from Normandy, France, and Netherlands, and all his trip over there. So if I'm back in time, which we get back, we should be able to do the 6th, but it just depends on what time I get back from our cruise. So I'm thinking about scheduling a couple episodes just to run while we're gone. Um, so I'll probably look in the records and bring up some episodes just so we can have something playing while we're gone. But other than that, my ladies and friends, it is that time of night. Let's do this here. All right. So if you haven't been to homefrontsitrep.com, which is our website, go there, click on the merch side of things. These are the 6 shirts that we have available right now. You got the Marine It Down shirt, which is a co-branded shirt with same flag, same oath.com. Matt and Becky Johnson created our shirts for us. We have the spicy pineapple. We have Be Someone Stranger. You're Not Alone, which is the one I'm wearing right now. Our Everydays, Remember Everyone Deployed, and our Homefront Sit Rep tee as well. So make sure you go there and order you a shirt, man. They are awesome. I love them, especially the You're Not Alone and Be Someone Stranger, man. I tell you, these are 2 of my favorites because of the meaning behind them. So go check out homefrontsitrep.com. Let's do this right. Yeah, it is about that time of night. Uh, you're not alone. I'm wearing the shirt, man. Listen, don't let your dark days win. In the silence of your struggles, remember, though unseen, you are deeply held in the hearts of others. You're not alone. The uniform may come off, but the bond remains, and together we heal. Together we rise, and together we carry each other forward. And that's the key word there, man, is together. We as humans, we're supposed to be together. We're not supposed to be isolated and by ourselves. And we can't do this so-called life without somebody being there with us. We think we can, but we can't. So let's do it. Let's do this life together. Be someone stranger. Listen, we as humans, we're more apt to talk to a complete stranger than the ones we love the most. So be someone stranger. When you're out and about and you see somebody and it looks like they're having a bad day, go up to them, say, "Hey, how are you doing today?" And if they give you the red flags, I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. I'm living the dream. Ask the next hard question. How are you really doing? And be ready for that conversation. It could be a 5-minute conversation, could be an 8-hour conversation. You have to be ready for it and just sit there and listen. A lot of times we just want to get the demons out. We don't want somebody to try to fix us. We just want to get it out. And then it takes a village. Listen, we all have our village right here, this little device. You have your contacts in there. Could be 20 people, could be 2,000. Open up your contacts, blind scroll, stop, call the person that your fingers touched. If they don't answer, leave a voicemail. Say, hey, it's Willis. I know we ain't spoken a while, man. I'm just calling and check on you. See how you doing. Hang up, do it again. And if they don't answer, just keep leaving the voicemail until you get a hold of somebody. You never know. You might save that person's life. Your voice might be the voice that they need to hear that time. I seen a video of a guy. He goes up to a door, knocks. His buddy, his brother, on the other side of the door, opened the door, had a beer in his hand and a pew pew in his waist. And man, he dropped everything and gave this guy the hug of a lifetime. He needed that hug just as much as his brother needed that hug. So be someone's stranger, man. It's simple. Be someone's stranger. Community partners, man. SOF missions, man. I will tell you when it comes to nonprofits, this nonprofit here, even though they're not part of the big three, they're the next level down. They're top tier. Um, when you go to their clinic down in Tampa, Florida, you feel like you belong from minute one. As soon as you fill out the application and they reach out to you and say, "Hey, you're selected for this class," you feel like you're wanted. You feel like you belong. And you get down on site, man, and everything is individually catered other than the group sessions that you do, but everything else is individually catered to you. And for 365 days, once you leave, they take care of you for 365 days. So check out sofmissions.org. When you click on how do they hear about or how did you hear about SOF, type in Homefront Sitrep podcast, and man, it'll help you out. Up next is Heroes Media Group. Homefront Sitrep has been a proud family member of the HMG family for 3 years now. And I will tell you, Adam Bird and his staff, they're simply amazing. If I need anything, I can call Adam directly and say, "Hey, brother, uh, I need this or I need that," and he'll help me. He takes care of anybody that's on his platform, on his network. Up next is Reach Across America Radio. Homefront Sit Rep's been on Reach Across America Radio now for 2 years, or actually 2.5, probably about 2.5 years. Jeff Pierce and his team, they are phenomenal, and everybody, all the shows that's on the Reach Across America Radio network are phenomenal shows. So listen to reachacrossamerica.org/radio is the listen live link, or you can download the iHeartRadio app, TuneIn app, or Odyssey app, and search the word Reese, and you can listen to it that way. Up next is Same Flag, Same Oath.com, small veteran owned t-shirt company outside of Katy, Texas. They did this shirt, they did the Homefront Sit Rep shirt, or the Marine It Down shirt there, the Homefront Sit Rep shirt there, and then the other shirts that I showed on the screen just a minute ago. So go check out Same Flag, Same Oath.com. Up next is Elite Engraving 24, small veteran owned company here in Campbellsburg, Kentucky. They created our Homefront Sit Rep hat with the red patch for Remember Everyone Deployed. That's why we went with the red patch. So check out Elite Engraving 24. And then you got Valor coins and pins. Brian and Brent Casey, the grandsons of Herschel Woody Williams, Medal of Honor recipient, Marine. He's a Marines Marine. So check out Valor Coins and Pins. And then rdcshoes.com. Darren Davis and his family created RDC Shoes. And I tell you what, I love my Patriot shoes that I have. They are so freaking comfortable. They are going on cruise with me. So they're going to be traveling to the Caribbean. Last but not least, check out homefrontsitrep.com. You can see all these great veteran podcasters and all of this good stuff on homefrontsitrep.com. But other than that, it's that time of night, my friends. Stay safe out there. We got your six. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show.
Suggestions and comments are always welcome.
Cannot wait to have another great show with y'all.
Don't forget you can find Homefront Sitrep on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Stay safe out there. I got your six.